that you have been raising, you understand, as your own, calling your own, you know what I mean, taking to heart, after all these years and times, you're taking just the you know, the rudimentary, you know, procedural, I think what they call the procedural, you know, paternity test. So, you know, they swab you and everything like that. Then the results come back that you are not the father. I mean, even when the brethren is telling me the story, you can see the emotion. You know what I mean? Almost like when a man needs to sit down for a moment while he tells his story, because it really affects him to his core. You understand? I mean, to his core and everything. So for all that time he was living together and struggling to keep the family together for the family's sake, but especially for the child's sake, he gets to learn later on that the child that he's been raising as his very own is not his own. And it's only because of a procedural paternity test that he says, all right, well, hey, they offered it to him. He says, I don't want to have to divorce, you know, we can make it work out. But since she was the one, you know, initiating for the divorce, he really couldn't do too much, and he decided to just kind of go along with it. But now he finds out something very important. Now, I've gotten to learn that, you know, that this brethren still is a sort of a stand-up brethren, in the sense that he still, you know, regards the child as his own child. But it's brought up a lot of a whole other issues. You know, I mean, even though, you know, a man may learn to deal with that, black male learns to deal with that kind of victimization and that kind of disappointment and psychological and emotional kind of crucifixion. It's not like it goes away. This is why you see and hear those commercials on TV where it says that black men, you understand, are very likely to have high blood pressure, you understand, and stress-related illnesses, you understand, and to, you know, so-called die one way or the other. You understand? If they avoid the so-called streets, if they avoid the so-called bullets, then it's the, you know, hypertension and the stress-related illnesses, you know, that kill the black male disproportionately to any other group in society. I mean, even more than exploited children, the black male is more of a victim. Even more than so-called endangered animals, the black male is more of a victim of this PTSD, post-traumatic slave disordered society, than even endangered animals. The black male is more of a victim. And see, the unfortunate thing is that because of what has happened to so many generations, where you have a lot of fatherless, you know, a lot of fatherless children, you understand, one way or the other, you understand, you have all these fatherless children household, you get an interruption of that wisdom, that knowledge, which is so necessary to be passed on, and not just all at one time or just during visitations, but in a real life scenario, passed on from the father to the child, both the son and the daughter, to pass on that knowledge, that information to the children. You understand? I mean, this is what a lot of so-called BFFs, a lot of the black Frankenstein femaleists or feminists or females, baby mamas, and then dramas, what they don't recognize. You see, so what we're noticing now when we look at the black society as a whole, the black family as a whole, over the last 3 to 4 decades, we have these holes, you know, like these holes and everything, wormholes in a sense, but not where you can, yeah, you travel to another dimension. Yeah, this is like a twilight zone. You understand, the other dimension you reach to when you reach the other side, but you have all these gaps. It's all these gaps where we have children being raised by single black mothers who have been adversely affected themselves, who have been dispolarized themselves, who have been made off-balanced by this PTSD, you understand, society, this PTSD system. You know what I'm saying? This so-called matrix system that we're living in. And just going over my own personal you know, my own personal testimony, because everyone's testimony, I've learned a lot from other brothers, and, you know, I mean, whether they are black males or white males, even the Brazilian father incident with his son who was abducted. I can feel that. You know what I mean? I know that. I've experienced that. And you know what, brothers? In this so-called twisted, distorted injustice system, there's not really much you can do. I mean, look at this guy, this Goldman. I don't know if he's a Jew, you know, practicing or not, but just look at this father. Just take it as a father. You understand? And what he's going through. You see, it gets international, you know, this has become an international custody issue. And that you have